Change is the only constant thing in this world. I could not agree more. And when it comes to our motorcycle, change of oil is also inevitable. Today, I'm going to quickly run you through the steps of changing your motorcycle oil. This time, using the Yamalube Performance oil. This is PH Motor Thread again, ladies and gentlemen, back for another informative / tutorial video. It would really be a good idea if you are new to this channel and you hit the subscribe button as well as this bell button to get updated on my fresh from the oven videos. Changing your oil is by far the easiest thing that you can begin doing if you are planning to do the motorcycle operations yourself, or we call it DIY or do it yourself. In fact, this is the first operation that I learned to do on a motorcycle. It is done somewhere between 1,500 kilometers to 3,000 kilometers odometer reading from the last time you have changed your oil. Since I am using my beloved Sniper 150 motorcycle, or in Malaysia, they call it the Y15ZR, we will start by making sure that we have a 19mm socket wrench in hand. Again, let me reiterate, it will be a 19mm socket wrench. This is basically the size of our engine drain bolt, which looks like this in this different camera angle. And we need to ensure that we have the right size for it. The next step is to prepare a drain pan just right under your engine drain bolt. Now, being on this side of the motorcycle, which is the left side if you are directly facing the headlight of your motorcycle, we then use our 19mm socket wrench, making sure that the socket is properly sitting to the head of the engine drain bolt. And to loosen it, we just need to turn the socket wrench in the direction towards us until the engine drain bolt is loosened and removed. Immediately after you remove the engine drain bolt, the oil will start draining into the drain pan. My best practice is to leave it draining for a minimum of 1 hour. While you might say that it is quite long, let me tell you that some would even leave their motorcycle oil draining overnight just to make sure that all dirty old oils are really flushed out or drained thoroughly. I call it my best practice because it gives me time to thoroughly wash our engine drain bolt, which consists of the oil strainer, the spring, and the actual drain bolt itself with the O-ring in it. I wash it with the clean water and detergent powder, since I do not have an air compressor. After washing the engine drain bolt, you can either dry it by wiping a cloth, or since when I shoot this video it was sunny, it was quite a good weather actually, I'm going to dry it through the heat of the sun. Now going back to our oil, after and until you see that there is not a single drop of oil dripping into the pan anymore, we are now ready to put our engine drain bolt back. Again, the order should be this oil strainer first, we then insert the oil strainer into the spring in this direction, and then we insert them into the actual engine drain bolt. It is also worth noting and making sure that the O-ring, this black thingy, is still sitting properly on the drain bolt. Once set, we then put the engine drain bolt set back. I use my hands first just to find and feel the right thread and then turn it in the direction away from you. You can then use the wrench to finally lock the engine drain bolt back to its required torque. After putting the engine drain bolt back, we now need to open the oil filler cap. Since I cannot open the oil filler cap using just my hands, I would need the help of a plier padded with a cloth just to protect the cover from scratch. I just use it to loosen the cap and use my hand to finally open it. This is where we pour our new engine oil. Today I am using the Yamalube Performance 20W50 engine oil in this tutorial. This is the first time that I use this oil because I normally use the AX7 oil by Shell, which is the one I fell in love with. However, today I am sort of experimenting on different oils, so I will have a greater comparison of what works best for our Sniper 150. The bottle of the engine oil has a transparent portion with measurements on them, which is good, so it is quite easier for us to determine how many milliliters have we already poured in. Since we did not change the oil filter, we will only pour in 950 milliliters of oil to our engine as our user's manual specification. The 50 milliliters should just be between this mark right here. We now pour in the engine oil while constantly checking if the level of the oil have now reached the estimated mark of the 50 ml that we set. Once the level reached the mark that we created, it should tell you that we have already poured about 950 milliliters of oil, which is already good to go. The final step now is to put the oil filler cap back and turn your engine on to distribute and warm up your new engine oil. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you know an oil that you can recommend that is also good for our motorcycle, whether you're in Malaysia or Philippines or Singapore or Saudi Arabia, wherever you are in the world, let me know in the comment section what oil you are currently using that you feel is pretty good for our motorcycle. And you have just learned how to change your motorcycle's engine oil. Ride safe everyone, and peace!